I built the ultimate Obi-Wan vs Darth Vader custom LEGO set from Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 6. Hey guys, so the Obi-Wan Kenobi series finished on Disney Plus over a week ago now, and I thought it was the perfect time to share my newest custom set based on the epic finale of the show. This set contains 882 pieces, and I think you're gonna like it. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start off with the minifigures. So first up we have the title character himself, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now this minifigure is very similar to the Episode 2 Obi-Wan. In fact, it's the same torso and legs, except in a different color, being dark tan as opposed to, of course, the light tan. I do believe that the legs are actually from the Episode 3 Obi-Wan instead though, so it's a bit of a mix of the two different figures. The head print is the same one used in Episode 3 Obi-Wan sets, which obviously gives us this natural second face print which looks really nice. And then of course the hairpiece is the Han Solo hairpiece, which works best since that new mullet piece isn't available yet. I also decided to give Obi-Wan a normal transparent blue lightsaber as opposed to the light blue ones which are used in most LEGO sets. This is just because in the show they look slightly darker, so I think that this one is of course a bit more accurate. Moving on now to the main man himself, Darth Vader, who is of course in the set. He's pretty much the same as any Darth Vader you've seen in a LEGO set. However, this one does have a utility belt, which is nice. It just makes him a little bit more taller and a bit more menacing. Underneath the helmet, he of course has that face print from Revenge of the Sith. I couldn't work out how to do the one from the Obi-Wan Kenobi set coming up, so this one will have to do for now. And I honestly really wanted to do that scratched helmet from the episode, but sadly, Mecabricks and custom molds don't really work out, so I was kind of stuck with this. However, this does make a lot more sense, of course, for the rest of the duel, because Vader's not going to be dueling with the scarred helmet for the entirety of it. Final, I guess, minifigure in the set is Lola, or LOLA59, who is the droid in the show, Leia's pocket droid, who is of course kind of in the scene in the ship, which we will get to of course because that is included in the set. Lola is of course here just a 1x1 print, which was kind of all I could do. I'm not sure if LEGO would even do a custom mold, but the 1x1 print honestly works quite well. Some inspiration from this came from Bricktorylap's custom sets, which I would definitely recommend checking out if you enjoyed this video. And those are the minifigures in the set. I really wanted to include more, but seriously only these three actually landed on the planet, so no one else made any sense to include. So really, even though it's 882 pieces for 3 figures, I couldn't really do anything about it. But that's enough of that. It's time to move on to the build. And here it is. As I said before, this set has 882 pieces, and if it were a real LEGO set, it would probably cost around $80 US, which would be a lot for of course 3 minifigures. As you can see, this set is split into 2 parts, so we'll start off with probably the least interesting one, the dual platforms. This is obviously based on the unidentified rocky planet or moon that Obi-Wan and Darth Vader had their encounter on. As you can probably tell, this part of the build is kind of inspired by the LEGO set, the Vader vs Obi-Wan one, which obviously a lot of people don't like, mostly because of the price, so I decided to show what LEGO could have done if they based it on this duel instead, and of course included something else, being the ship in this set. Like that set, dueling platforms are built into it, so you can of course spin the figures around if you so desire. As you can see on the side there, you can tip a rock, which will catapult lots of rocks towards Darth Vader, obviously recreating that scene from the show. For even more accuracy, there's even the specific pillar Vader was chucked against. Either way, there are lots of ways you can pose, display, and play with your minifigures on this base, even if it is just a grey slab. Now we'll move on to the more interesting part, the ship, and this ship really annoyed me. I do like the design of it as a very basic Star Wars design, but this ship makes no sense shot to shot. It's so inconsistent with how it's portrayed. Here are some shots, for example, of the ship in flight mode, and here's it in its clearest shot landing on Alderaan at the end. You can see there the engines are literally just completely gone. They don't go in because literally in the same shot they just kind of morph out, and it just looks really weird. It doesn't make any sense, and it's just really confusing on what this ship is. Either way, I've chosen this, which I think is the design closest to what is portrayed. I know that some of the proportions are off with this set. For example, the cockpit piece is way too circular. It's from the UCS Millennium Falcon, but I do think that I've done a pretty good job overall, as this was pretty hard to capture. It's got some weird angles which are hard for LEGO, and I'm overall pretty happy with how I did. The ship does have some interior space, including in the cockpit there where Obi-Wan can sit, and also put Lola on the dashboard where she sits during the duel. There's also a secret compartment up top. There isn't really anything in particular to store in here. Maybe you could chuck his lightsaber in there, or just any spare parts really, but there is some extra storage there. Of course, the doors can also open up, and Obi-Wan can walk out there with Lola like he does on Alderaan there. There is also a tiny bit of room in there, but there isn't really much. The ship does also have retractable landing gear. However, I do think that in real life this would be a bit finicky, but I do believe that it does work. And here's the box art. Definitely not my best work, but I do like the positioning of everything, and overall I am really happy using, of course, that new Obi-Wan Kenobi box art that LEGO has. Anyways, that has been my custom set based on Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Obi-Wan vs Darth Vader rematch of the century, and I do hope you have enjoyed. Please let me know your thoughts down below. In terms of next projects for custom sets, I want to have one based on Scarif coming up for Andor. That'll be pretty much when the show comes out. And then I also want to do one for the Bad Batch Season 2 when that releases in September. So yeah, got a few ones coming out basically tied to releases. But yeah, keep an eye out of course. Stay subscribed if you enjoyed. However, yeah, that'll be all today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. That'll be all folks. Goodbye.